How are you? We made it. Here we are, Friday. And Fridays are always freaky on the block with Jen. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are waiting for Miss Lily. Until then, do not forget you can support the show with a Cash App. It is scrolling on the bottom. Appreciate everyone who Cash Apps me, even when I'm not on air. Okay? That is where you can be discreet. A lot of people don't like other people seeing where their money is going, so they Cash App me. Thank you to the ladies and the gentlemen, okay, who send me Cash App gifts to support this show. I don't like shouting you out because I feel like Cash App is private, but by all means, if you want people to know you're sponsoring the show and contributing, send your Cash App with a little note, and I will be more than happy to shout you out. If you don't do Cash App and you just feel it's more convenient to Super Chat, that is the little dollar sign on the bottom right of the chat box, okay? You can throw your comments in there. Tonight's going to be a very interesting conversation brought to me by Lily. Stuff that I think about, but Lily adds a little extra to it per usual. You can reach me on all social media platforms, on the block with Jen on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, on the block with Jen at Gmail as well. Please don't forget Block Talent Battle tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the block. Pull up if you have a talent that you want to share with us and you think you can entertain us enough for 2 minutes and the audience so you could be voted winner and win $100 cash just for coming up here for 2 minutes to share your talent. That's some good coin, like Lily says. And without another further, let's bring up the lovely and talented and always fabulous Lily from YB Limited. Hi, Mama.
Did you see me back here getting dressed?
No, I'm loving the colors. Your outfit matches with my drink. Let's get it.
Yes, and I don't have my Freaky Friday ginger ale, but I'll get it.
Okay, I was about to say you could go get it. They'll wait for you. They will wait.
It's all good. We're gonna make sure we get it because I can't wait to get into today's show.
I know it's so. And look at this. I did a little. What's up, Larry Grant? Welcome, sir. I did a little research, right? Like we often do. And Lily, I literally pulled up these AI bots, and those are the pictures that I use for the thumbnail. Look at this thumbnail. Those are real AI bots. They talk to you. They have sex with you. They respond. Okay. They come with their own cleaning kits for when you get them all sticky. Okay.
Oh, wow. Right? I always wondered about that.
Yeah, they come with their own cleaning tools. You can, open their mouths and their vaginas, and they have detachable penises on them.
So you can take it to work.
You can take it to work. You can take it off. Yes, you can take the penis to work. You can take it with you. And then you can stick it back on him when you're ready to use him. So it's not just, woman bots. There are men bots.
Wow. Well, I have a feeling we're going to learn something tonight.
Yeah. And I was like, these things go from about I saw some starting at like $400 or $500 all the way to $4,000 or $5,000. Some of them are in the 5 figures. The more detailed and intricate they get, they have different features like vaginas that warm up, mouths that open, women that'll talk to you however you like. They program them to talk to you. You use your little iPad and talk to them. And fast forward, you can send a picture of a woman that you desire to get your doll made. Your doll will look like who you want to smash. So I'm just wondering how many dolls of me are there out there?
They're probably running around because from what we're seeing, they start less than an iPhone. I mean, come on.
They are. You're absolutely correct. They are cheaper than an iPhone.
I wonder if you could finance one of these boys or girls.
That's a good question.
Or like if you're bi, you can get a boy and a girl.
Hello. And no one will ever know.
Yes. Or you could be poly with your bots. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen.
Speaking of poly with the bots and boys, hi, Haran DeMarco.
How many bots do you have, Haran?
I don't got any on tap this yet.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some. Nah.
No?
Nah.
Come on.
I think they're saying that now until they become super sophisticated.
Right.
Well, who's to say that one day they become so sophisticated I don't know I'm talking on?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, like, and Jen, I'm sure there's a bunch of small, violent little Jens running around. So making a
Well,
lot of men,
why my little Jen's got to be violent though? Why my
Well,
making some great, making some, making some great nights for some gentlemen out there.
I did not come up for the abuse this evening.
right.
Okay, my bot's gonna have a little knife. She's gonna be like this in the box.
And the next one, instead of Megan, it's going to be Jen.
Oh my goodness! Welcome, No Saint.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right.
Welcome to Freaky Friday on the block. Yes, I was doing a little research. These things start at $400 or $500. They go up to $4,000 or $5,000, and some of them are five figures. The more features they have, some of them, you know, you could warm up their vaginas. You could have them respond how you see fit. It's all programmable on your little iPad. You know, they open their mouths and do all kinds of stuff, and their tongues turn in circles, and they come with their own little cleaning kits. It looks like a bottle cleaning kit.
This sounds like a Don Levon tongue one. Can I get the Idris Elba face, the Don Levon tongue, and the Lexington Steel dick? Okay.
It's the perfect way to build your own man. And I have to confess, hold on, we have a new guest. Being Bennett, how are you, sir?
All right.
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys doing?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Hello, Keith. That's our guest.
This is
tonight.
Keith.
Yes, that's Keith. He's
Hey, I'm sorry I'm in this room. I'm trying to get brighter light, but
Oh, your light is horrible.
I know I am in my living quarters. Give me 1 second. Let me tell you what. I know
Take
what
your
I can
time.
do.
Take your time. We will wait for you. Take your time. One thing we can do is fill time on the block.
If we can
Let
do
me see.
nothing else.
How are we doing now?
It's a little better. It's a little. Oh, hi. That's some good breeding right there. That's some good breeding.
I'm trying to get you on my speaker. I can't. Goodness gracious, that is so funny. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get you on my speaker phone so we can chat.
Okay, take your time. We'll continue.
Okay, thanks.
Take your time. No worries. So, guys, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I must confess on this Freaky. I'm gonna confess on this Freaky Friday. That's what Freaky Friday is for. At first, I was like, "Oh, ain't no way in hell. This is crazy. This is close to necrophilia. This is insane. What is humanity coming to? Who are these people?" And then I started seeing the man bots, and I was like,
Same thing with me, Jen.
"No one will know. Like, who will know? Like, why not one time?"
And women tend to do that until you tell them how they benefit. Everything's a dumb idea until it'll be like, well, women can benefit. Then wait.
I mean, listen. Hi, Brienne. Hi, Mama. How are you? What's up, Front Street with Liberty?
You got me with detachable dick, but I'll be right back with.
I bet you they did.
Okay, I'm like, listen. First of all, let me throw up the thumbnail real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, these are the ones that I was searching. Okay, so the two guys on here, the one on the left, the brunette and the redhead, first of all, I had to cut off their penises so YouTube doesn't get me, okay? I had to cut off their penises, but they both come with detachable penises, right? Got the little bodies on them, you know what I mean? And I was like, who would know? How about just maybe one time?
Right, who would know, Jen? Come on.
It's like YOLO. You'll get to be 75, 80 to say, yeah, one time I smashed the bot. Now, I'm not about to sit up here alone like no one else on the panel would smash a bot.
Look, at that age, you shouldn't find yourself privy to explain shit.
Jen, you're not alone. I am here with you.
If you that age, I'm not
you,
explaining
Lily.
shit to a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I got a question. Does body count if it's a bot?
You trying to get some used bots? Like it's a car dealership or some shit like that?
Oh, you know what? I ain't thought about that. Like used bots. Like, oh, he my ex. I
don't want that bot. That bot's been used. No, the bots don't count as body count. I'm declaring it here on today.
Yeah, let's get that straight right now before all of this blows up. That the bot's body count does not count.
Okay, but let's get this out the way. We have some gentlemen on the panel. No, saying you've been real quiet.
Well, I said before, and I
Huh?
saw something the other day about this. I saw where they whatever the avatar that people can talk to, and they gather information as you talk to them, and then it becomes like they're almost a real person talking to you. Well, I
Mhm.
found out that they curbed it to where it wouldn't respond as much to like sexual stuff, because there are people that fell in love with these
Yeah.
robots, these
Mhm.
virtual robots, these virtual people. And I told you that I knew exactly what it was doing, but it made you feel a certain way when this thing told you it loved you, even though I knew it was not real.
That's so
So
fucking
this
weird.
is the next thing right here. These robots are going to be, I mean, listen, the 5-figure robot better know how to clean itself, first of all. I'm not spending 5 figures unless that thing can clean itself.
Hold on, we get you we get y'all a warm rags, so you can do return
You
the favor
can clean your
for the bot.
doll.
Listen, but it made me think about the Tesla. Elon, they upload stuff to it. The steering wheel gets warm, or it can do a lot of things. The software
Mhm.
changes. It's coming, and yeah, I think people are gonna
Mhm.
fall in love with these things.
Hi, Brienne. Brienne says, I'm doing wonderful. I'm getting ready to invest in this AI tech so I can leave Bunny a trust fund. Look at OnlyFans website. If that can make money, this certainly will. Absolutely. Kiss Bunny for us too. Bunny is our
Bunny.
black baby. Okay, so No Saint, great story. You didn't answer the question though.
Yeah, what's
He
the
damn
question?
sure didn't answer the question though.
Right.
What's the question?
Great.
He
Listen,
tends to do that. He tends to do that at times.
would you smash one of these
Yes.
voluptuous, yummy bots with okay, now we're talking. Keith, Haran.
Yes.
I don't see. Did he say yes, or he was just saying yes, answering you like?
Oh no, me for a
I
bot?
was like,
No, no. I don't think I would be interested in smashing a bot. I'm too much of a flesh.
no one
I'm
would
too much
know.
of a flesh person. I'm too much of a I'm more as a person. I'm more into interactions. I go off emotions. So that to me wouldn't give me the emotions to drive me to that ecstasy,
Sir,
But
are
that
you a
climax.
Libra? Are you a
crazy?
Libra?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
You're a Libra, aren't you?
yeah. Why you say
Yeah.
that?
Oh, I know you guys. I know you guys. Trust me when I tell you. All
But
right.
but the
I'll
craziest
continue.
part about the bots is that, like No Saint was saying, that's what I was hearing about the most, is that people were actually falling in love with the
It's
bots.
coming, because
Yeah,
they're gonna interact with you. They are going.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe not our lifetime, but not long. It could be within our lifetime. The way things
I
are
say it
moving.
within our lifetime.
Oh
It
yeah.
is going to interact, and you are gonna, not you necessarily, but people are gonna fall in love, because it's gonna be so good. The AI is gonna be so good that you're gonna suspend disbelief or whatever. Even though you know it's a robot, you're gonna fall in love with whatever person. Almost like that movie AI with the little boy. It's
But
it's
No
crazy.
Saint, you said
Yeah.
that. But No Saint, you said that they were curbing the
This
machine
is the
so that
program.
doesn't
No, this is the
happen.
program. No. This wasn't a robot. This was like, maybe Haran can explain. I can't remember what it's called. Replica or something like that is the program. And basically, you're talking to a person that you built, like a girl that you built or a guy that you built, and
Right.
basically it interacts with you like a chat, like, hey, what you
Yeah, I
doing
know,
today?
but
Yeah.
but you said that they were changing some things because people were falling in love with it. I don't think they should let people fall in love with it. What's the harm?
People were pissed.
But this is the
Why
thing.
were they pissed? What were they pissed at
They
though?
were
I'm trying to
pissed
understand.
because they changed their girlfriend or their boy. They were
Oh
pissed.
I don't think
yeah.
they should have. I think they should let people fall in love with the machines. What's the harm? That's what I'm asking. What is the con? What are the cons?
Look, man, there's a bunch of women out there that fell in love with their dildos. So it's just like, it's
I
just
feel
it's the same
attacked.
thing. So it's
I
the
mean,
same
we
kind
got
of
people
concept.
who, like, if someone would have told us 20 years ago that we'll be on the internet arguing with bots, like getting emotionally like charged over bots, we would have been like, yeah, right.
At this space in time in my life, I don't see much of a use for it. However, as time goes on, and I only suspect I'll just get older and more ornery. I suspect that at some point in time, I'll just not want to deal with no fucking body. So I might just have a bot. By the time I get a bot, that shit'll be sophisticated like a motherfucker. I'll probably help out with the AI, man. Have a nice little shut the fuck up button on it.
What? Do you see that? I can't help but think like Keith looks like he's in a cell. Like he's calling in from Rikers Island. And we don't mind. We accept everybody on the block.
We do.
The colors and the background.
We've had Wilder on the block.
Yes, we have.
Bots in prison.
Well, the deal is that I'm supposed to be at home, but I got caught up in traffic earlier in Virginia. So I couldn't make it home. So I was talking to YB Lemon. I said, I'm not going to be able to make it home. I'm in my truck. So I do own my own truck as well. So when I got the offer, I just said, hey, man, I'm not going to miss this offer. I'm going to stop. I'm only an hour from home. So I said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do this right here. And I'm going to come in and I really, just enjoying the show. So I'm not from the cell. That's the old life, me. That's the old life.
Okay. Well, that's all our old lives, so it's okay.
We've all been in cells, so you're on the right block.
Yeah, you're on the right block for sure. We've all been cuffed, right? And not the fuzzy cuffs. Not no saying.
Dig that.
Okay, no, we're happy that you're here. Welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do? I know Lily said that you're an author. Can you tell us about your books?
Yes, I'm a 8-time published author. Let me get this. Can I start from somewhere in the middle and come up to this? How I became an author?
Absolutely.
Give you a little information about my lifestyle. Being born into me and Lily talk all the time. We talk about it, but being born how I was to a biracial father in the early 60s. I'm 53 years old. At this age, nothing is surprising. But anyway, when I was born, I didn't have much. Coming up, being neglected all the time as a biracial dude, being dark skinned was one of the hardest things because people look at my sisters and my brothers, even my father. Dang, how did you become dark skinned? But it was generations. My mom passed it down. But anyway, I came up, man, and being poor, man, if you from the inner city, you always see that. That's what we saw. And that's what we thought being a man and we thought being life was our circle there. Everybody was doing it. But anyway, 15 years old, man, I took on a drug lifestyle. And I did pretty good in it. I did pretty good. I did so well till at 19, I was sentenced to 50 years in prison. And a lot of people didn't get at that young age. I didn't get it, But life, and I was talking to a lot of people, and I motivate people, and I do motivation now. It's so funny the roles you got to take to get to the purpose of your life. It's never a drop to where you can just, hey, listen, I did this and everything unfolded. You take so many steps to get to your part of your life. And there's some bad steps. To you, they bad and they slow. But anyway, I ended up going to prison, did 14 years, got my case overturned, ended up with a 20. But how I became a writer is after like 4 or 5 years in, my 5th or 6th year in, I seen one of my best friends get killed over $10. And I was like, man, life's got to be better than this. It's got to. I know God didn't create me just for this, not this, because I didn't come from that background. My mom never smoked, never drank, never clubbed, nothing. A lot of people got this stigma there where you had to come from a bad lifestyle. No, I chose it. I had my first son at 15, and I had to provide, But at the end of the day, 8 years in being in prison, my mom told me one day, she said, hey, listen, I was sending more money home from prison than I was really on the streets. And my mom said, you got to stop this. You got to stop. You can't do this no more. you already got, I hadn't had my case overturned yet, but she was telling, hey, this ain't gonna get you out of here. The same thing get you in ain't gonna get you out. And it kind of made, it's some things people say to you opens a door for you, and you start trying to journey through that door. But it was hard for me because I was used to a certain lifestyle. 8th year in, 9th year in, a friend of mine got murdered again in prison. And it hurted me because he was a young guy. He hadn't been, he hadn't been in prison over 3 years yet. He had us 50 as well. He was about 20 years old. And I walked in my cell one day. My cellie his name was Mr. Cat. He had already been in prison 30-some years. And I said, and I just was talking. First time I really ever heard myself cry. And I just said, God, you got to give me something better than this. I'm on my 10th year, and I needed something better. And I said, God, just give me a gift. Give me a gift that I could use to stop other young men and young people coming into this prison life. They didn't have to live this negative lifestyle. And I don't want to see another man die like this. And the next day I woke up just sitting there. I wrote my first book called Lord, Hear My Cry, from the Bible. It took me about a week. Never in my life really read a book. Never read a book. Never thought about writing a poem. And that was my gift. I wrote my first book, Let My Cellie See It. And he was like, Brian, I didn't know you was a writer. I didn't either. He said, let's try it again. And everybody started reading the book called Lord, Hear My Cry. So I started after the next book. Now I'm in prison. Now check this book out. I wrote my first erotica romance in prison. Right there in prison. Wrote my first called Who's Loving Who. And based on that, it was a book. Lord, Hear My Cry was about me trying to get out of the lifestyle. Just get me somewhere, God, you can hear me. But my erotica book was Who's Loving Who? And it was based on me trying to figure out in life who was really there for me, which woman. And I started telling about each woman that I met gave me a part of me that I used when I met other women. I don't know about these gentlemen. I don't know about you guys. But at the end of the day, young ladies, every woman or every person you've been sexual with taught you something that you use in your next relationship. And you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out what is love. And a lot of people don't experience love in every relationship. Some of us just experience sex or lust. Some of us just, it is what it is. But trying to find that special love, I was a monster with it because I didn't have feelings for people. And I was trying to figure out how to love. And every woman I met taught me how to cook, taught me what romance, taught me how to clean, taught me how to wash, taught me things about each woman that I was been with. So as I got older and doing the book, I just realized, you know what? It takes a lot of people to feed in you to become that one person for a person you might not ever meet, or you might meet. But here's the deal about falling in love is that you always find a cookie. And what's good? I always say a cookie is something you love, but it's not good for you. Every person has a relationship that they've been in that they knew it wasn't good for them, but they stayed because they couldn't get out of it because they thought they was in love. But anyway,
well, I had a cake. I had a cake.
Yeah, you had a whole cake.
I had a fucking cake.
Yeah, so I wrote that book, and believe it or not, in 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote 21 novels in 2 years, all by my hands.
Wow.
Just took myself out of prison. So end up getting out of there, and nobody believed in me. I went to prison as a hustler, a jacker, or what they call stick-up boy, and nobody believed the change. But when I came into my change, it was a God's gift. It didn't come overnight. So I ended up meeting my wife after my first wife. I met my second wife, and she published my first book. And ever since then,
I was about to ask you, how'd you get them published from prison?
I didn't. I still got like 15 books in my handwriting.
Wow.
But my first, I got 200-page novels and nothing but handwriting. So if you ever look at a regular handwriting novel, it's about 500, 600 pages. And I can write a novel in 30 or 40 days. It don't take me a year. That's my gift. I can take anything that I can imagine, and I can write a whole book about it in 60 days at the most. And it's just a gift. It's like walking into my purpose. So I got my first book published, and You know, everybody think it's a fluke, but after the second book, the third book, the fourth book, it's just that. But the money doesn't come with the books right off top.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into trucking. I ended up owning my own trucking company. So I got into trucking, and I'm a hustler by trade. No matter what I touch, I'm gonna turn it gold, platinum. And it's like life, you know. I look at life the same way. So I end up getting into motivating speaking for the people who getting out of prison, speaking to young men who's on their way to prison, speaking to people who's on the verge of killing themselves, or like now, like we talking now about the future. And I talked to Lily, and it's like Lily said something to me today that opened the spark in me again. Is I have to give myself permission. And I gave myself permission a long time ago, not realizing it, that, hey man, I got something to offer the world. I just got to get at it. So I ended up writing so many books. Now I got 8 published, and I'm releasing my 9th one in a couple of months. It's called Climbing Your Mountain. It's a motivational book. That's my deal.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
What made you write the erotic book?
Because
Like,
I'm a
was it
freak by nature.
You happy with your wife?
Yeah, listen. You shoot shots on Freaky Friday.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to disrespect. No union put together by God. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not gonna give you that spiel. Yes, I'm happy.
Okay.
My wife gives me you know, when you meet people, the best people to fall in love is the ones who challenge you like that most of the time. I've never really been challenged. And I was telling Lily, but she keeps me in my direction. She's not one of those people who, you know, you meet some people, they know you from the past, or they know what you do, and they fall in love with you because of what you are, not who you are. My wife is one of those people. She never has an emotion that's like, damn, you fine, or what this or that. But at the end of the day, she knows how to keep me in this box to where I know how to, I feel good about me. I don't have to do too much to make somebody else feel good.
That's dope. And how long have you guys been married?
8 years on the 16th of September. No, nice. 7 years. 7 years.
7 years. So she's been basically your helpmate throughout this journey of you being an author and all of that, right?
Right. Yeah, she's been but she owns daycare. I like entrepreneur spirits. I like free spirits. So she's an entrepreneur. She owns a couple of daycares. She does well. You know, we own that. And yeah, she's been that guy. It's like any other relationship. It's like any business relationship. You know, this is the first business marriage I ever had. So, you know, I was married 24 years on my first marriage.
Oh, so okay. While you were in prison, you had a wife on the outside.
I had a wife.
But you got married in prison, right?
No, I got married 2 months before I went to prison.
Oh, okay. So she just remained faithful the whole time till you got out?
I never asked.
Oh, okay. All right.
Why ask something like that? Do you really care when you got 50 years?
Right.
No.
You give
I guess not. No.
Well,
no.
I almost cussed. Can we cuss on here?
Oh,
yes, we can cuss.
Okay.
We can cuss.
Yeah, I didn't give a damn. All I cared about at that time was who was gonna try to at least support me mentally.
I totally get that. Like when you're in the military and you're overseas, you're just thinking, oh, am I gonna get a care package? Is she gonna send me a letter?
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's called common sense, man, and I salute you for that, man. Like a lot of times people ask questions for things that they really don't need the answer to. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
Right. You know.
And then I got 9 kids.
Oh.
I got 9 kids by 8 different women.
Ooh.
So I've been,
busy.
You were catching up. You were catching up when you got home.
No, most of those were created before I went.
You were busy.
I was busy.
Okay.
So that's what brought the erotic romance on. I wanted to teach love to somebody. Most men don't know love.
What is love? Teach us.
Yes.
Well,
what is love? How did you describe it anyway?
I would describe love as independent. And a lot of people, they think love is like this Cupid deal. You get this arrow, you get shot, you all in gloomy gloom. I think love to me is somebody who can allow you to be who you are, no matter where you are. And I can still be myself. A lot of us get trapped in love, what you call love. It's Google. Love is not a feeling. Love is a dedicated thing to somebody who, hey, no matter where I'm at or what I'm going through, you still understand me. Love is support. Love, I ain't never been in love with nobody with a feeling. Love to me is a whole different thing. You know, it's not sex. Love ain't sex to me. I got 9 kids. Shit. That ain't love to me. That's just a job. And as I'm gotten older, and we was talking about this bot, love is a goddamn job if you're not intimate with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it's a job. At 53, ain't nobody making it with 53 in the career. You ain't making love every day, all day no more. Love is a damn like an apartment deal. You know, it comes and goes.
Right. Right.
So, you know, I think love is something we're going to have to just really, do you love me by being with me? And I think my biggest fear is being, even with my wife, I told her, is if something happens to me, will you be there? When all things go down, will you be there? When my sex drive go down, if I get on some type of illness, would you be there? That's love. It's like an agape love. No matter what, you got me.
That's so
and
sweet.
And falling in love with these robots, you're gonna have to be mentally stable. You cannot. That's a lustation. I don't think that's a love.
Right.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna be. I don't believe it is gonna be. I think they're gonna be so good that people are going to fall in love with these personalities, even though it's artificial. Now, this is just speculation, but I'm just saying people are falling in love online. People are falling in love, on Catfish. People are falling in love on OnlyFans. Hey, yeah, I love you, baby. Send me $20.
At the titty bar. At the titty bar.
You know, so
at the titty bars.
What I'm saying is there is a reaction. Your brain reacts to certain cues. And I'm saying these robots may be able to hit those cues, even though initially you bought this thing. I'm thinking it's going to be that good.
Why can't it? Why can't it? I mean, after a while, I'm sure that there will be customization settings. I mean, that's where the money would be.
Actually, that's not out there. No, the ones that are out now, from what I was researching, they're all customized. Okay,
but there you go. And now look, if somebody gonna make you a cake just the way the fuck you want it, and you taste that shit, obviously after a while you're gonna get addicted to it.
But let me ask you this question: Isn't that programmable? Don't you have to reprogram this every moment of your life with this bot?
No,
because
it's AI.
No, because it's artificial.
It learns.
It's constantly taking input from its environment.
Right.
If you look at, I know you've probably seen some of this GPT chat and some of these programs that are in their rudimentary phase right now that are really pretty good. I mean, they're only going to get better. They can write. You put in a few words, write me an essay. It can write you an essay with perfect grammar. The grammar's already perfect. So people that are, I've heard somebody say, people that are in the business of looking at books, who are those people? They do the proofreading and they put make sure that's going to be job that's obsolete because the computers are already able to do that. So I'm saying the more this robot intakes from the environment, it's just going to be able to fire up, and it's going to blur the lines. It really.
What about if it malfunction? What about malfunctioning?
Oh,
well, I hope you're not in it.
Trouble. Dude gonna be
in trouble. I hope you're not in it. I hope you're not in it.
Wait. What do you mean malfunctioning? Oh, malfunctioning.
Malfunctioning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just say this. Anything man build, he has to continue to upgrade it. He has to, because if it gets to such intelligence to where it develops feelings for you, and as men get older, we get bored. We get bored. Let's be real.
Man, you about to step into something that I ain't think about.
We get bored. You gonna get bored with this thing if it's not continue. Now let's be real. You're gonna see something you like, and it's gonna notice this. It's gonna notice your, hey man, come on, let's do. It's gonna notice your mood change. What happens next?
You know what? That reminds me of the story I was telling you about the chat that fell in love with her programmer and was threatening to call his wife and lie on him and all that stuff.
So you mean to tell me the bots are gonna turn into little gens? I saw you on Facebook longer than usual. What are you seeing on Facebook that's more interesting than me? Is that what's gonna happen?
That eventually, that might happen. You know what I mean? I can see that. I mean, it happened in all these other fucking movies, all these fucking AI movies. All of them turn into little gens eventually. So it's just like, why not? Why not? Why not? That's what Megan did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the downside to that. Here's the downside to that. I don't think other people are thinking about, like, yeah, you know, the bot, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. That thing is going to have internet access after a while. There's going to be a hive mind connected to that thing. So while you're fucking sweating on that motherfucker, somebody can hack into your goddamn bot and probably watch you with your ass cheeks up. You know what I mean? You know, be getting slammed by, you know, Julio the bot. You know what I mean? Or El Julio, or whatever the fuck you want to call him.
Did you see that? It wasn't on your end?
What?
The bots got me. Everybody was spinning.
No.
Yeah, I saw it. Like, it's trying to, the bots are like, y'all gonna stop.
The bots got me.
Yeah, man, that thing's gonna have a hive mind, man. So that means that it's because you have to think about it like this: if it's constantly learning, that means that it's going to have to constantly be upgraded. So that the program that's actually running your bot's going to need a software upgrade.
Yeah.
So it's going to need to connect somewhere. So if it's going to connect somewhere for a software upgrade, that means there's a pipeline that can be actually accessed and hacked.
So
you know
okay,
what I mean?
hold on. So
do I not
on you?
Do I not please you anymore, Haran?
Yeah, it might go down like that. Yeah. Well,
I keep seeing you throw heart emojis on her pictures.
I just make sure.
Do I not please you anymore?
I just make sure that every time I'm not using her hands are tied. That she's tied up somewhere. She's literally tied up somewhere.
This is crazy. Like, I'm glad we're having this conversation and seeing like the possibilities. Because me and Jen started off like, give me one.
And I'm like, wait a minute now. I don't want to be impaled by a plastic penis. Okay. Because I was liking somebody else's pictures.
Right.
I mean, at some point in time, the math dictates that there's going to be a lot of interesting stories in the emergency room when these things blow up. The math dictates that, man. Because if there's been a lot of interesting stories in terms of dildos and lost vibrators and areas and gerbils and shit and shit like that.
And then Don Levon comes in on that note. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Tristan, I see you.
It's gonna be some sacrifices. Hey, have y'all ever seen that movie Judge Dredd?
Yes.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember AI? What they had then? You remember if you ever looked at Judge Dredd? And I was telling Lily earlier, Judge Dredd was when Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone was frozen to these shells, but they was held their body for future experiments. But what happened is Wesley ended up getting out of his shell and end up being a terrorist to the future. I mean, it was like hundreds of years in the future when he got out, and they had to go get Judge Dredd to end up to catch Wesley again. But what happened is when they got out, they didn't understand the futuristic things that were going on. And if you remember, Sylvester went to kiss the lady that he had fell in love with, and she said, no. They have a law against chemical swapping, bodily fluid swapping. And he's like, well, how do y'all make love now? And she said, put these goggles on. And he put them goggles on, and they start, and he said, this is weird. And they start making love through the goggles. And when he became to where he had to ejaculate, he took the goggles off. And it's like, no, that ain't how this supposed to go. This ain't how this. Remember?
But no, remember I was saying on the show, I said, remember we was talking about the goggles, and I said, mark my words, remember I said this, they're going to use sex Once they get it up to where they want it to be, then they're going to use sex to start selling those because they know sex sells, right?
Well,
So they,
there is like porn that you
I know that.
and it looks like you're actually in front of the person. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it looks like, okay, like the video games, the shooting video games.
Understand something here. Understand something. I think I was telling Jen this before. When it comes to a technological breakthrough, you know, especially a person who's a technologist, I often see all of I just see the potential. I see what things could be. I really see what the internet could be. However, I know what it's going to be once people get their hands on it. And the first two things that people do when they get their hands on shit like this is they look for boobs, or they or they figure out how they can rob a motherfucker.
Yep.
And right now, there's a whole bunch of AI shit with people trying to rob people, and motherfuckers are trying to figure out how they can stick this shit into some fucking sex toy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than all the other things that we could actually use to better ourselves and actually better society, and actually think about how we could approach education and energy usage. Nope, we want tits. And we want to rob some motherfuckers.
And that was the point I was making on the AI show. I'm like, it's not the computers, it's these damn humans I don't trust.
No, we always do it.
Yeah, I mean, look at what we're doing with social media, because social media is such a wonderful tool. Like, it's you know what I'm saying? People have been able to work from home and be with their children more, and we're able to connect the way we do. We could connect with our family, whatever. You know, there's so many great things, but then. You know, so it's like with these things, we don't know the possibilities. Just like I said, me and Jen started off the show like, hey, give me one detachable dick. I can take it. Hey.
That's why I told Jen.
See what it feels like.
Me and Jen are always on the opposite side of that. She thinks it's the machines. I just think people suck. I just think people suck.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was, yes, people suck, but it's like giving a regular person liquor. Don't they change? Right? They become more stupid. So it's like with any type of power, it corrupts the human being. It's like when you think about something as crazy as suicide, most suicides are because someone owned a gun. They already had it in the house.
I understand what you're saying. Why give a complete moron who can't shoot an AK-47?
So because humans, their nature is to move like cattle. Their nature is to move like cattle. So now you add machinery and technology to that, and you make that human being 10 times worse. It's like, oh, it's like that joke, we should have never gave you niggas the internet.
But it's the truth, though.
It's the truth. You see people like on the internet, you could be anything you want to be. You could be tough, you could be rich, you could be a badass, you could be sexy and you're not. You could be whatever you want to be here.
But until somebody who knows you, or till you go live with somebody, you then have to be your original. You can't hide who you, and that's what I think that body's gonna do. We lost contact with humans. We don't like each other no more. We don't. And that's what that body is going to do. And that's what the government, to me, with that body setting us up to be. I'm going to take you less away from the human choice of being who you are. And I'm going to control you over here by this. Now, okay, sexually it's good. But what about, are you going to build this saint? Now, if you can get this bot to clean my house,
right?
Go get me something to eat when I'm tired. Get me, know when I'm sick. Okay, cool. I'll take that bot. But that bot can't do everything. Then again, I might be lying, because they say, look at when I came out of prison, they had cell phones. I didn't never see a cell phone. When I went to prison, we had a phone this big. I had two of them with Motorola.
Oh, that big shit with the antenna.
Yeah. It was $1,000 a month to operate that phone. I go and come back 14 years later. Everybody and kids got the damn phone. Like, how's everybody getting these phones? And listen, this was 2003 when I got out, and it was a regular flip phone. 5 years later, we can look at each other now. Look how fast technology went from a flip phone to talking to now we can just touch each other. And one of my friends said this: after a while, in the next 4 years, you'll see a hologram.
Oh yeah,
you'll have It's coming.
that's coming. The technology isn't there. They're testing it out, but I can definitely tell you at some point in time,
so
yes, it's coming.
What that bot gonna really do for you?
Wait a minute.
Hey,
So we're talking about the cons, but there are pros to everything. There's pros to everything. So let's discuss some of the pros, because there's pros to everything. These are just some things I think of off the top of my head. No STDs. Sex is very, very, very dangerous. Like Google HPV. Okay, the majority, not like 20% of people, 1 in 4 people have herpes. The majority of humans have freaking HPV. Why? Because they monkey bar relationships. That's what I call it. They go from one person to the next to the next. And these people who are like, no, I have friends with benefits and casual encounters. That person also does, right? It's just not your night tonight. But so you're sleeping not only with that person and other people you're rotating, but they're also rotating you, right? So it's like a do-si-do. When I look at these celebrities, and it's like the way they all just rotate each other in the same pool, like the Nick Cannon, the Christina Milians, the Nicki Minaj, and now Nicki Minaj's man is with this one, and she was it's like a big rodeo. So I would think one of the pros would be, because right now, you guys know I'm celibate. But one of the things that's keeping me is like how I look being celibate a year and a half, and now it's like it's making me more closed up, because I know whatever man I encounter is not going to be a man who was celibate along with me. It's going to be a man that most likely monkey barred from one situation to another, and now is happy he's with me, so he's all in, right? He's dick deep. But I don't want that, because I'm like, hold on now. I've been, you know what I mean? Flower, right? My flower is, I don't want to give you my flower now, right? I mean, in a committed relationship, I know it's on a popper with me.
Right.
But just, it's like the longer I stay away from it, the more robot guy is more appealing. Because robot guy doesn't have HPV. I'm sorry. Look at this guy. Lily, look at these guys don't have HPV. They don't have HPV.
And they're not gonna like he got something. I don't know what it is.
Listen, they're not gonna ask me for juice or Fruity Pebbles after. Okay, I can leave them laying there sticky. I'm saying I don't know, Lily. I don't know. Let's talk about some of the pros.
I'm still with the detachable dick, because I like being able to take that with me places.
Let's talk about the pros. There gotta be pros. Somebody has either a TV on or people in your background. Mute your mic if when you're not talking. All right. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the pros. I say, okay, no STDs is one. There gotta be others.
So I'm gonna say what another one is, but then I can quickly end up in a con. But this is a pro. So if it's around you, it's learning you, and it's programmed to please you. Right? Because from what I was studying on, one of the ones I sent you is that you can program the personality type, right? So I guess when you go to update the software, if you're like, oh, I thought I wanted her to be fit, feminine, and friendly, but I want her to have a little spicy every now and then. Can we program a little spice every now and then? Because she's a little too friendly, So I'm like,
I will cut you. I will cut you.
Exhibit A.
I will cut you.
That's the Gen mode.
The Gen bot.
Lord have mercy.
That's the Gen algorithm.
That is the Gen algorithm.
The fuck? Well, like I told y'all, all I need is, me personally, I would personally do my research and find out what programming language they're going to use to build these things, so I can know how to maybe throw my own little thing in there. One of those things will definitely. That's a pro right now. You know what I mean? One of the main pros. One of the main pros will be like, I'll have a shut the fuck up sequence. There'll be a shut the fuck up algorithm. I can just right on the phone. You know what I mean? Right on the phone.
Okay, so to elaborate, a shut the fuck up feature would be you have the opportunity to be with a woman who feels soft, who is beautiful, but won't talk.
Because I really don't need her to talk in that moment.
See, I'm about to say, I was loving the idea with
that. So wait a minute now. In that moment, would a bot, even if she's beautiful, be enjoyable, not making any noises?
Well, we can also, what we're talking about, shut the fuck up, we can say, no intelligible speak per se. We can have moans, we can have
Okay.
responses, and so on and so forth. So intelligible speak, we can remove that. Or there might be a kinky setting where it can just be like we have a dirty talk setting, and you know what I mean, she's responding to me when I
But
move
no
this way. That
ouch,
way.
but no ouch, that hurts. You're pulling my hair, you're leaning on my hair, like that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we don't really need to deal with that.
Okay, you don't need
Oh,
that.
I got another prompt. Well, will she need a bonnet before bed? Like,
No.
Oh shit.
You won't
No.
need a bonnet.
no bonnet.
No.
Keith is
Nah,
like,
you
no
don't need a
bonnet. Yo,
bonnet.
men
Oh,
hate
see,
bonnets.
see,
Men
no,
hate
see?
bonnets.
I cannot handle a bunny. That a bunny is
A
the
bonnet.
biggest. That's the biggest turn on. I refuse just gonna have a damn ball fade. This right
See,
with you.
see, y'all thought it was me.
Yo.
Y'all thought it was
Yo.
me.
No,
You
I
guys
don't.
are gonna force me to do a bonnet topic. I cannot. But yo, men
No.
hate bonnets. Women
We
gotta
got
listen.
I'm putting it
Women
on the
gotta
thing.
listen. Put it on the thing, Lily. We gotta talk bonnet. And Lily, we gonna wear our bonnets through the whole stream. It's gonna kill the guys, but we're gonna do
Oh
it.
shit! You ain't got to worry about sex with me ever. If you ever put that bunny on, my wife and people, my wife know two things that turn me off sexual is a bunny and those ugly ass little ballet shoes they girls work. You got them ballet look. You got them ballet shoes on, whatever. What you think is real comfortable? That hey, go on. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, but wait, so really quickly, and then we'll get back to the AI. What is it about the bonnet that you hate, Keith?
It makes you look like Auntie Mammy. It makes you
Okay,
look
fair
old
enough.
fashioned.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's something that degrades the outlook of a person. It makes you
Okay.
look like you just, and being honest, being black, it takes me to the yes sir master, no sir master. It's like you don't give a damn
Okay.
about who you are.
Okay. Fair
It is.
enough.
It's like having grandma in the moo. Who wants a
It
woman to
does
come in
give
the house?
my moo realness.
Yeah. What if your man came to bed with those regular drawers on every night?
No, I'd have issue with that. Huge issue.
It's the
The
same as a bunny.
elastic, the
The
elastic
If your
hanging
man,
elastic
off
all
and shit.
gone.
Okay,
if,
Keith, but
if
can you give us a pro to the AI? Would there be a pro? Like, do you think it would? I knew a guy once that was like, oh, that they should put these in prisons because it would make like men not want to rape and or take off that sexual edge. As someone who's been to prison for a long time, do you think that would have helped you or other? You know what I mean?
That's gonna cause more problems.
Men.
More
That's a
problems.
currency. That's a currency.
here's your problem. I
Let's
always
hear
had a
it.
guard. I had a guard. I never had that sexual desire because I always had a guard. I had a guard. But you put that AI in there. What about the person who can't afford it?
That's why I'm saying it's gonna cause problems.
It's gonna
Big
cause problems.
Because I was in there when the cell phone. I was in there when cell phones started to come into the prisons, and it caused a lot of problems.
A
Because
lot
like
of
you said, there's
It's
going to
like
be a
what
sector of men.
they're gonna
who
be
can't
like, what size that doll is?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Ain't that your dog? Ain't that your dog? Can I have your dog like in the light? Can I have your biscuit? You sitting there with your dog and looking good. You might go with your dog, and it's a preference. You have to. You got a lot of guys in prison that they like guys. So you have to put the guy doll in there too, Shit.
There's enough guy dolls in there. You good? They good. They good. They good. Don't worry about them. They good.
We could.
But yeah,
Don't
Are
ask
there
me how I know, but they
any
good. They
pros?
good. They good.
I want
The
to hear a
pro-
couple more
Yeah,
pros.
I got pros.
the pros for me would be is it got to be sexual?
It could be anything.
It could be anything. Any pros?
The pro for me is she would be able to. I don't have to tell her to clean up. She would know how to clean up. She would know because I'm a neat guy. I'm a real neat guy. So the pro for me is that she would know that okay, the bed's got to be made up before he comes in. Like as soon as I get out my bed, I like a clean house, and I love a person to cook. That would be one of my pros because even being married to a business person, you don't get the meals every day. I like home cooked meals. So my thing would be the pro was, hey, I just call before I get there. Could you get this together?
Okay, you need to keep a human then, because I don't think the AIs would be that advanced yet.
Yeah, they will. I'm gonna be the late. You gotta realize I'm 53. By the time my AI, I'm gonna have a damn AI that's gonna be damn near 70. You know what I'm saying?
You want the senior citizen AI.
Shit, they might be on they might be on the stroll by then.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
See, that's what I see these AI getting their own OnlyFans pages. They gonna be on the stroll, like they gonna be down the cost of pussy on the block. Like it's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how could you tell an AI though if it's that intelligent?
Well,
probably not online.
Huh?
We already can't tell online.
Online, probably you can't tell, but in person. But no, Saint, what do you think? The
No,
pros
I think
are?
there's a. Well, I'm going to take it a different direction, and from what being a Bennett was saying, not sexual. I think just like being able to. It's like just imagine putting one in like an elderly home or whatever, some lonely person where you can interact with this. Yeah, and like I mean, just that you. I know you hate this, Jen, and he was talking kind of like the Stepford wife type bot, but you know, I'll be chilling with this AI fem bot talking about football, and she could be giving me statistics. Yeah, back in 1968.
Yeah,
feed me statistics. Oh man,
that's a pro. I think an AI be able to handle a man's passion for sports better than a human woman.
I got a couple
like
pros.
I'm saying, like for that's what I'm saying. Like they're already, like you said, on the online. You can chat with some of these things, and there is unlimited access to information for them because they are going around the World Wide Web or whatever and pulling it up. I see Haran wants to say something.
So are you saying, because some people when they get older, you know, some of them they go get pets. You know what I mean? They get a dog, they might get a cat or whatever. Do you think there's a space for people to like say, I'm just gonna go get a bot? Might not even be for sex.
Yeah,
might just be someone for companionship.
Yeah,
and
like
maybe
the Sapios out there. The
what you know what also would be kind of crazy? What if they got the bot and they said, hey, we can give them the same characteristics as your ex-husband?
Oh, now we're back in Black Mirror again. We're back in Black Mirror again. We're about to go back down the dark path.
I mean, eventually we're gonna be there.
But let's go a little deeper for a minute. We all know that the infamous manosphere, specifically the Black manosphere, I think is more hateful than even the white manosphere. And I didn't think the white manosphere could get any more hateful. But I think, you know, the Black manosphere is even more hateful towards women, specifically women of color. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, let's call a spade, right? Do you think that, you know, with the statistics of men and younger men not having sex currently, do you think that a lot of that vitriol and frustration comes from not having sex? And maybe these bots, they'll be, you know what I mean, using the bots for sex. Maybe it'll take some of the edge off so they're not so vitriolic. Do you think that's a possibility? Is it a lack of sex that makes the men so hateful?
Yeah, that's one of the pros that I was thinking of, like for the incels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say yes and no. I mean, I understand where you're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are correct. A lot of I've said that dozens of times. One of the most dangerous men on in the world is an undesirable man, because he lashes out at the world. He becomes violent because his biological imperative is to create another version of himself, to live, to survive. So if he can't do that, he'll get violent. But anyway, yeah,
every villain. And
that is pretty much every villain. You know what I mean? Anybody who's undesirable in the comic books becomes a fucking villain and tries to kill everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but to your point, to your question, yeah, that probably could be a benefit if these people were able to, I guess, release themselves, even if it's in somewhat of an artificial manner. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're already jacking themselves off the porn. This will be the next level. You know what I mean? So, you know,
more than jacking off the porn, you're actually getting a response back.
Right. So I can see that being helpful to some degree. You will those motherfuckers, you know, find some other reason to bitch and complain? Absolutely, because that's just in their nature.
Right.
They'll probably complain that the price is too high. They'll probably complain that the upgrades don't come fast enough. And, you know, better looking men get access to better looking bots or some shit like that. So I don't think it'll fix the problem totally, but it might help.
What do you think, Keith?
Well, I want you to go back to speak. I mean, it's probably I didn't hear you well. You said most Black men have a thing against Black women.
No, in the manosphere. In the manosphere.
Do you know what the manosphere is?
The Black
No, no,
Manosphere. We were talking the Black Manosphere.
you're gonna have to educate me on that one.
Oh wow, you don't know what the Black Manosphere? That's amazing. See what I
Yeah.
say? Basically, the Manosphere in general is what I would call support groups for men that are disgruntled and bitter about failed relationships. And they run rampant on social media, specifically on YouTube. So there's a Black sector. It's called the Black Manosphere, and there are a lot of streamers who stream, and usually they're just vitriolic towards Black women. They're
And they have
hate for
millions of
Black,
followers.
and they have millions and millions and millions of followers. And their content is usually bashing Black women, blaming Black women for the failures in the Black community and what have you. Like, they're very, very vitriolic. So I'm thinking, quite naturally, what do we say to people like that? You need to get laid. Go get laid. Go get laid. That's your issue. Go get laid. Stop complaining about women. Go get laid.
I'm gonna have to talk to you guys about that on another level, because I think those men just hate themselves.
Okay.
No, they do. No, they do hate themselves, and they project that. This is one of the reasons why I tell that. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why one of the things I tell guys like that is that you need to work on yourself, because that's why you so goddamn angry at everybody.
They've never been loved by a Black woman the way that they're supposed to be loved by one, and they use that excuse just so they can try to make themselves look bigger or better. I don't think it's that, because I'm around a lot of professional Black men, and I've never heard one say anything. Everybody have a problem with every race. Every fucking race have a problem with their women. I don't think it's just a Black woman. I wouldn't give it that big. I think those guys are just old nutting dudes who's using their format just to try to make themselves look big. Go with the question again, because that threw me off, and I was like,
he was like, what was said about Black men? What was said about Black men?
Well, it was because simple fact, I was raised by a Black woman, and I've never had an issue. I've never been outside of my race. I've never dated anybody else besides Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And I like strong Black women. I like a woman who can keep me in line. I dated a Spanish woman, but I never had sex with her. Mm-hmm. But I liked it. The discipline that she carried. Every strong man needs a disciplinary. Mm-hmm. He can't run wild. And every person, I just don't think every Black man is frustrated with our women. I think those are brothers who just weak and looking for somebody else to blame because of their impotency, or they don't know how to handle themselves. It ain't strong enough.
To be clear, we weren't saying that every Black man is like that. We weren't saying.
No, I know. I'm saying what she said. I'm saying what she's saying about towards those brothers. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that part. I never been outside my race. So I never.
Yeah. So what you're saying is what I actually say often. I always say that there's Planet YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that demographic, I said exactly what you just said. I know successful, affluent, respectful Black men who love Black women. What is it? The statistic is like 80% of Black men marry Black women. That's the real world. That's the world that I exist in. I don't know these losers that hate their mamas and their children and their
what is your nationality? I can't really see because this live thing. I got a clock.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay, you Black. Oh, you Black.
I'm Puerto Rican. Some people may say that, yes, but
and some people don't.
Right. Some
people
don't
look like me, so I'm just saying. Technically, she is.
Some people don't. But again, that's that particular demographic, but that demographic, has a huge issue with Black women. But in the real world, right, outside of people who are disgruntled, everybody goes on with their lives, and Black men love Black women. And like, you didn't even know about the Black Manosphere. And how many times have I said on this panel, when I ask my friends, my Black male friends and relatives, have you heard about the Manosphere? They answer the way you answer. They're like, what is that? And I have to explain. Yeah, because men that are about their lives and positivity and productive, they don't congregate with these guys. They just don't. They don't even know that, this world exists. Right. They don't know that. So, what you said, it echoes what we've said over and over again.
Yeah. But what was the question again? I'm sorry.
What are the pros
Well,
We're
no,
talking about
you
prevent.
actually asked it. No, you asked, do you think one of these bots can help one of
Right.
those men?
Yes, those
Oh.
men collectively.
No, because they're going to program it into a area to the women they decide to be with. They would program it to be with a Caucasian woman, Spanish woman. They would never, because how could you program a bot to be a black woman? What would it be? It would have attitude. Will it have attitude? Well, it's a Puerto Rican. Will it have attitude, Jazz? So how could you program that?
That was listen.
Wait,
That's
wait a minute,
hilarious,
wait a
but that
minute.
wasn't the question.
Oh, okay.
No, wait
Okay.
a minute. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. You know what? He just stumbled onto something that is a very interesting idea. What if motherfuckers sit there and be like, well, I want my bot to act like a black woman.
Give them
What
an
is that?
ethnicity. Give them an ethnicity.
Exactly. Give them ethnicities. Like, what is that? What? Then we open up a big can of fucking worms. Like, wait a minute, what is a black woman?
Oh,
What is a Spanish woman? And all those. It's a very interesting thing. No, that's a very interesting thing. It's a very interesting thing.
But I don't know. And to be real with you, I don't think me personally, I could, because I like somebody with their own mindset. I have to have somebody with their. I don't know what a bot would do for me. I'm more of a. I like the errors of a person. I like the failures of a person. I like to see a person just natural person. That bot has to be perfect. In what world would we live in where this bot would be that perfect? So that takes away from you, because you can't be perfect, and now you're being judged by a perfect bot. So
But
if you don't go long enough, you go in that thing and you tap it for 15 minutes, and what if I say, I am not satisfied? What? Can I be a man today? Can I be a 3 minute? What if that bot tells you it's not satisfied?
You could program her to be satisfied in 3 minutes.
We're gonna set the timer for 3 minutes.
You don't even know when you're gonna be satisfied. It takes you. They say count the strokes if you don't got nothing to do. What if I'm missing a stroke that day? Or what if my stroke go farther? She's gonna tighten up on me. She's gonna tighten up. She's gonna hurt me. I'm going to the hospital.
Can you imagine?
There you go. Hey, Lily, access denied. And you sitting there can't get that thing. You gotta walk in the hospital with a robe around you and a sheet on it, because it doesn't tighten up. You going down.
Like, oh my God, that was the best 2 minutes of my life.
What you
like
said?
You are such a stud.
But what happened when he go back out to the real world and he looking at somebody else and they say, no, I'm 45 minutes. Like,
but you know what's interesting? Something you said is interesting, because I said often, remember, Lily, when we were talking about this, I'm like, with marriage, putting expectations on somebody is unrealistic, right? Because we're all so different. But with an AI, you can program an AI to be perfect. Right?
Yeah.
Like Haran was talking about she will be quiet. No Saint was talking about she'll have sports stats. With my thing, you know what I mean? I'd program my guy to be something. He would be absolutely no flaws.
He's blind, and he's blind, except to you.
Yeah, exactly, and he's blind. Like, he doesn't look at any.
Matter of fact, when I order my bot, I'm gonna be like, you could keep the eyes. He doesn't need the eyes.
Why blind? I'm missing it. Why blind?
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Keith. You're new here, so you're getting a crash course.
Okay, yeah, real bad.
Yeah, you're new. You'll get used to us. No, my thing is that I don't like guys that look at other women when I'm with them. So I've made jokes like they have to have blinders on, and I'm the only woman on the planet he sees. So my bot would be blind. He doesn't need eyes. We need eyes.
There's gonna be a time, if we live long enough, there's gonna be a time when motherfuckers is gonna be like, yeah, because my ex was a bot. Like, and that's just gonna be like some regular.
But no, like, hold on, that's what I was saying earlier. You'd be like, oh, I already dated him. Nah, he done been around. Like,
Right.
Your bot gonna be a thought. Yeah, your bot gonna be a thought.
That's a bot. That's a bot.
Bots.com.
But you know what? Wait a minute. Let me say something for the record. She'd be #1 selling.
She would.
The thought bot, the bot that's a whole would be #1 selling.
You know
Okay,
it.
the thought bot would be. She would outsell the Virgin bot.
Yes. And that's why I
The
said she
pick me
gonna put
bot,
across
the
pussy
pick me
on the
bot.
block.
See, I saw the pick me
Ain't
bot.
human girl
She
gonna be able to
would.
sell no pussy. I'm telling you, once the bot starts selling it, it's over.
It's
The pick me
over.
bot, the pick me bot gonna be a little overweight. It's gonna have like a little food pie and shit. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be real sweet. It's gonna
She's
The
gonna
cook
have
bot
on
the.
gonna
that.
let herself go.
It's gonna cook the fuck out of some food though. It's gonna be able to cook some shit.
Well, could you cheat on your bot? Could you cheat your bot with somebody? What if I came to run bot and I said, "Damn, that bot fire," and I was like, "Shit,
Yes.
I want his bot. I want his bot." Would that bot cheat?
That's just a
Will it
swap
cheat with me? What it called a smart bot?
bot. Swap bot. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Swap
But
bot.
what if I didn't want him to know? I want you to know. I want your bot. Meet me in the bathroom. They need to cheat. Did your bot cheat?
Yo.
Your bot be like,
I
your
mean, we
penis
can have-
doesn't fit. Your penis is too big for me.
well, we can have a situation where the box vagina works like a fingerprint, like access, like when you work with like
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
fingerprint,
saying.
they know who you are and they know
Somebody
how you
gonna rape your
shit.
bot.
Don't you? You like that?
Somebody gonna rape your bot. Somebody gonna rape your bot.
Jen, you like
I
that?
know
He don't
that's
get
not-
hard
it's
unless
not you.
you do the code or whatever, or
Right.
fingerprint.
Yeah, it's gonna be people. There's gonna be like a geek squad for the bots. People gonna be carrying bots in. Can you uncode this? Can you open this bot, please? The bot's
Oh,
gonna be like,
there's a ton of money to be made off of this shit. I see the motherfucking money.
Right.
But it's so much to this thing, man, to where it's gonna be seen. It's gonna be seen.
I think
Like
so
right
too.
now, if you call AT&T, you never speak to nobody. You pay your bill and everything. Those are AIs. That thing tells you everything.
Right.
It just by numbers, and it say speak.
We're,
So
we're
we
being
here.
conditioned. We're being conditioned to
We
move in
here.
that center. Yeah, we're here. Yeah, pretty much.
We here.
You know what's
Let's be here.
really wild? You know what's really wild? Based on the information, like your financial information and all these other things, a lot of these machines and these AIs, they know you better than your own fucking partner.
Yeah.
They know your spending
Yeah.
habits. They know what you did. They know what you do. They know your past. They know you more. They know you better than your best friends half the time. And it's at times I think about it like, wow, that's a very fascinating thing. Like,
But in
Yeah,
reality,
because
do you
you're
want
because you're not
Do you
gonna
really
tell
want-
you're not gonna
Right.
tell your partner what you're searching for in Pornhub,
Of
but
course,
Pornhub
of course.
knows.
Of
Pornhub
course.
knows
Do you
what you
really-
searched.
Do you really want perfection? Do you
And
really want
that's
perfection?
my other thing, Keith.
Me?
I don't believe that people do. I think they do. They like the idea of it. But and I'm gonna tell you why. This goes back to something I said a few weeks ago. And remember, people were like, remember when I was saying, and I'm sorry to come down on y'all brothers right now, but I'm about to real quick. You know I love you though. Okay. Remember I was saying with men, a lot of times, some men, not all, Jen. You got the sign? Okay. Yeah.
You really do have that shit all the time.
Right.
By the side.
You like they like a little crazy. They like a little dysfunction. If a woman is perfect all the time, men get bored. Period. Point blank. They're out. They're going to get bored. If she's perfect, they are going to get bored. So, what do you program certain imperfections for her so that
I'm
she?
Well,
pretty
that's
sure
the
you do.
ethnicity. That's the ethnicity bot.
Oh yes. Okay, we got her.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered those grounds.
You could
right?
program her to come in when you come in the door at 5:30. You could program her and be like, "Where the fuck you been?
The bitch
I've been
bot.
waiting."
The bitch bot. Yeah.
Right,
Right,
the
the
bitch
bitch
bot. You don't
That's
pay
gonna
me
be
any
wild.
attention. I've been sitting here. You can have her interrupt the football game. You don't pay me attention anymore.
I
Hey,
hacked
what the
into
fuck?
your phone. I heard your conversation with your
That's the other half. That's the other half. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things.
But think of the here's another pro. You don't have to spend any money on her past the purchase.
Right. That's why a 5-figure one wouldn't be out of the question. Because that
Mhm.
thing, if there's a 5-figure bot, that's going to have some bells and whistles.
Yep.
And I thought of another pro.
No saying why you got a twinkle in your eye though.
Mm.
Ah. I thought of another pro. This might give
I'm
you another
thinking about
twinkle,
it.
no saying. She will never turn you down for sex because she won't have a period or a headache.
That's true.
See, no saying got all kinds of wild fucking fantasy in his head. But he's playing the Boy Scout role per usual. He's on brand tonight.
While
Googling
thought bots.
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna put everybody in the hot seat. I'm gonna put everybody in the hot seat. It is Freaky Friday. We can't get out of here without being freaky, okay? If you were to program your favorite sexual thing on your bot, no, Saint, don't look down. If you were to it's Freaky Friday on the block. If you were to program your favorite sexual thing, what would you input into the bot soon as you pull her out the box or him out the box?
I'd be like, go notify 3 more bots.
Well, that's a polybot. That's a polybot.
There you go.
The polybot.
Send out the signal. Send out the signal to get 3 more at the door.
And they'll just deliver them to the door like Uber, like bot Uber. There'll be 3 more bitches at the front.
Right in the thought bot mobile.
Yeah, the thought bot mobile. What about you, No Saint?
Oh man, I hate these things.
I know.
I said it's the hot seat. I said it's the hot
I'm
seat.
like,
I'd probably program it to be, a little violent.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I'm not mad at that one.
I love it.
It's always the Boy Scouts. It's always the Boy Scouts.
I am not, but we are not going to bot shame on tonight.
Can we order these bots to look like our favorite sex partner we had? Or
Yes.
can we order
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
you can. There's actually a company, and you send them a picture of a face, anybody's face. It could be a celebrity, it could be a girlfriend, whatever, and they will replicate that person's face on your doll. So she'll be at your door looking like whatever you want.
Wow. Just real life now?
No, it's real life right now. You can order your bot with any face you like, and they will
How
put
much is
that
these
face.
bots?
They start at $400 or $500. They go up to 5 figures, depending how many bells and whistles you
They
want.
got the cheap bot, huh? They got the
cheap
broke
bot. They got the family. They got the Family Dollar bot.
Yeah, the Family Dollar bot. That shit is made out of like spare parts and shit
right.
like that. They found some shit, some lawnmower parts and some
shit.
parts.
Her head trash.
Shit.
That one has a headache every now and then.
I'm pretty sure.
And she still gets her period. So, just saying.
You know what, Jen? Now that I think about it, that might be the closest thing I get to actually fucking Halle Berry. I think I'm actually thinking
There you go. There you go.
Oh, and she gains a little weight. She gets
the $500 bot.
Yeah.
Damn.
So she ain't
come home and she got 8 pounds on her.
She ain't fit or friendly. That's
Does it stop? Do she gain weight throughout the process, or do she get to a certain weight and stop? You come home and have an overweight bot. You're like, I didn't order this bot. I didn't order this damn bot. Lose weight. Shit, lose weight, bot.
Come back with the bot legs is all up on the couch and shit, fat and shit.
That's why
That's
why you gotta pay that. You gotta pay for the $12,000 bot. You want the bot with the hot vagina. That one's the one that the vagina heats up on the $12,000 bot.
Well, you see Miss Ruth looking for a Haran bot. So
wow,
Googling right now.
I've never thought about this. I thought y'all was just talking.
You ain't gotta look for a lap, sweetheart. You just give me a call behind the scenes. Ain't too many bots can replicate Heron.
Oh wow, that is too funny.
Clink, Lily, clink.
That's too funny.
But this is deep. This is
really deep. It is.
So what is this going to do to like it's human interaction as far as relationships and sex, like, because it's already starting to be weeded out because sex is
over. It's over.
You said it's over.
It's over. You give me one that can just do what I needed to do. It is over.
Keith, I think you're starting to change your mind as the stream goes along.
No, the deal is it had to have that real. It couldn't have no mechanical parts I could see. No
No, they
mechanical
don't.
Screws and
They
you wanna
don't,
stick your
though.
dick in and
Yeah,
screw in
fuck
there or
around, you
something?
hit something and the screw come out, booty fall off. No, you gonna turn. No, I'm done. You hit that thing too good and the booty go flat. You're like, damn, you went from a sister to a white woman. That fast?
I mean, hey man, you know what I mean? Sometimes you be with a real woman and you hit that right enough, the goddamn
Right
rig fall
now,
off.
right?
And the rig
Got
falls
the wig.
He's
Yeah,
off.
knocking that.
but
He's
look
knocking
at
that
them.
silicone around.
They look pretty good. They're soft. They made of silicone. They feel like flesh on the inside. They're pretty
That's
soft. They're
scary though.
smooth.
Oh, that thing
You
still
think
gotta
it's
have some
scary?
kind of moving part.
Hold on, let me get
Well,
rid
they
of
said
this
the
picture.
lips open. They said the lips do open, so they
No, the
move.
lips open. Yeah, the
You
lips
get
Oh,
it?
open.
What
no,
does that?
I'm
What
looking at
does
this
that
right
say
now.
about the
One of them
mental
is Puerto
mind of a
Rican.
person?
Well,
What?
we kind of addressed that with some of the incels that are online. Because think about it, these men that are in the manosphere, a lot of them have millions of followers. So those are like, not gonna. I'm taking a stretch here. I'm not gonna call all of the followers incels just because I'm trying to be fair.
Okay.
But let's just say half of them. Let's just go with half. Let's go with 10%. That's a lot of incels that will be eligible or qualify for this type. They will be the first ones. But the other part of this, Jen, when I was doing the research and I was going on different videos and stuff, this is the part that took me. Under those videos, I wanted to go look at the comments. All of the comments was, I need one. Where do you get one? I want one now. When is she coming out? I was expecting to see mixed reviews and mixed. It was very much comment sections full of men. Because, think about it. We already have men in the manosphere, both black and white manosphere, making tons of money talking about how they already hate American women. So they're using their passports to go overseas, right? So they keep running. So they're going to go overseas. And we already told them what's going to happen when they go overseas.
Right. And it's happening. It's happening.
Right. So then after they do that and realize, that's not working. And then here we go. Well, we got the bots. Well, boom, that's what we need. So I see those being the candidates. That's the mindset of these people.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe you guys can hear me. Is there a limit of how many bots you can have in one house?
No, it's your money.
The polybot. Like you could be a polyamorous relationship with them.
Polybot. A goddamn polybot. Damn.
So we have right here.
Just picture you do 3 bots and you bend them all over on your couch and you're like ding 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 ding.
I just want to read.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just want to read something real quick. The first owner of one of the world's most advanced sex bots says he is considering making one his full-time girlfriend. The 60-year-old Californian man who goes by the alias Brick Dollbanger and claims to have spent $150,000 on sex dolls over the years, describes owning one for about $12K. Harmonies as fantastic, but says a forthcoming setting will allow her to physically respond to foreplay, which will make the experience even better.
Hello.
The father of two described the Harmony doll from California-based company Realbotics as a work of art. The firm claims the new setting called X Mode would allow Harmony to fulfill your wildest sexual desires.
She's a masterpiece.
Let me say this, and what nobody spoke on yet. What happens to the human race? Because you can't get it pregnant.
I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Well, that's on the decline anyway, with or without the bots.
I feel like this is all together, right? And this goes back to our AI show. I feel like, and everything, all the sizes point, they're trying to merge man with human. Man with machine. It's coming.
There's more money. There's more money in it too.
No, that is
the process is called transhumanism. That's what you're calling. Yeah, it's called transhumanism.
Yeah, that's what we're leading to. That's what they've been trying to get us to anyway.
The whole thing that was only 20 years ago, the Matrix, where you can download programs. They're working on that. They're working on where you can download stuff into a computer chip in your brain. So yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, you're absolutely right. They're merging.
So that means men won't get erectile dysfunction anymore.
Well, Yeah, she'll probably inject you with a blue pill or something like that.
Your ass gonna be a more.
Take your blue pill.
Now, John, remember what we spoke about.
God, this is gonna be just interesting though. You got to look at life, man.
But
Where we at with this? Where we
So
really at with this?
this is what someone I'm gonna read from an article. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna read from an article. God, Jen, I sent it to you, but I can't remember where this is from. But they're saying these are 8 predictions about love, sex, and relationships. This is what we're looking at by the year 2030. Okay.
Mhm.
Tell me what you all think about these. 1, sex will be even cheaper.
yes, I can see that. I
Okay.
can see that.
2, age of sexual consent laws will be enforced only in the most egregious cases.
I can see that happening.
Because that's starting to happen now, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. 3, the rising age of first marriage for women will begin to slow. It might even peak, but then the share of unmarried Americans will continue its upward march unabated. We already know that was going.
That's
4,
already, yeah.
Yeah, that's now. 4, a brief period of pent-up demand, same-sex marriage will recede. I think that's already happening now too, because people don't really trip off the same-sex marriage. Like, oh, I want to get married now. We've gotten it right, and we realize we can be miserable like everyone else. Okay. Let's see. 5, men's sexuality, not just women's, will become more evidently malleable. 6, polygamy will not make a comeback. But what is it? Hold on.
Polyamory.
Yeah, polyamory may emerge as a minority norm. 7, the retreat of marriage in the United States will not be seen by organized Christianity. 8, and we talked about yesterday about reimagining. Oh, we talked about that this week, reimagining marriage, because it's coming to that place like marriage needs to be reimagined. It's just the way that we've been doing is just not working. 8, efforts to degender society and relationships will fall short because they've been doing a lot of that lately. But I feel like the whole degendering of society does play into the fact of merging us into transhumanism. I feel like that.
But it's the degendering will fail, they said?
They said it will fail. I disagree.
The only reason I think that's the case is because I think now there's an exaggeration of it with like the call me a they, them, call me a piece of glass, call me an envelope, right? Call me an envelope, call me a mirror, don't call me he or she. I think that's why I think it's kind of like the word anti-Black or racism. Like they used it to the point where now it doesn't mean anything. Remember when that first started happening, like celebrity says N-word, like the whole internet would break the internet. And now you notice that the people that were prone to either attack women, attack men, attack the gay community, or say the N-word, you notice now they're saying it with abandon and not giving a fuck. So I think that's going to be the same thing with gender, where people are going to be like, I don't give a fuck. You're a he to me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Cancel me. I think it's getting to that point now, because I noticed even the guy that went after Angel Reese, the guy from Barstools, the one that owns Barstools, for him to be so blunt and call that girl a piece of shit, knowing that there was not going to be no repercussions. A white man in America calling a little girl, she's what, 18, 19? A young Black woman a piece of shit and be like, y'all ain't going to cancel me. You still going to pull up to Barstools, and you're going to be Black and still pull up to Barstools and still watch what we do. Gilly the Kid and Wallow, they're under Barstools, right? And those are Black men. And I think that's what's going to happen as we go forward. People are going to give less and less of a fuck about being canceled. We see a lot of people pushing back now.
That's very true,
like,
which I'm happy about.
Yeah, because it got a little too much. Like even Black China's mother, the way even though she's not relevant, but for her to go off the way she did versus the LGBTQ community, and I get banned from social media, period. I don't care that she's not famous, but that woman shouldn't be allowed on social media, and she chilling.
Right.
People are like,
Right.
So that's the only reason I say that, because it's now we're getting desensitized and it doesn't mean anything.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. Because my thing is, it was like far on one side with the censorship, and then and then it could be far on another side where it's just everybody's just reckless, without any because I'm really big on freedom of speech and all of that stuff, as long as it's not inciting violence. Like,
Correct.
Other than that, say I don't give a fuck. I really can care less.
Correct.
There's an irony in the human condition, and the irony is that we spend so much time creating these situations and these scenarios, running away from each other, only to turn around and create the same situations to make sure that we run towards each other. Like we create classism, we create racism, we create all these things, we're creating all these things and these hateful ideas that separate us. But in the end, truly, everybody wants to actually find someone that they can depend on. Everyone wants this companion. Everyone wants this space. You know what I mean? So many people right now are upset and angry because they feel they can't find the mate that they're looking for. They can't find this, and we're creating, and it's just so much vitriol and anger going on right now because people feel they can't connect with anyone. Even though we have all these machines and all these avenues where we can connect to people, people just don't feel connected.
I call it anti-social media.
And that's the irony of it. Yes, that's what it's become.
Because people have become so antisocial. Like, I mean, sometimes I just sit on the subway and I just watch us, all of us, and everybody, every single person.
It's just disconnected.
Everyone's disconnected. It's just, I remember kind of like Keith, when I came home from prison, the smartphone had just came out. And that tripped me out when I was walking out. I was trying to look for a job and I was in Georgia State. And I just remember walking through Georgia State and all the kids were looking down. No one's looking up. And I'm like, that was the weirdest. Just like when you're leaving, when you left and none of that was going on and people were people and you come back and they're damn near robots. That's freaky. And that's why, like, I see like the slow conditioning because we're out in it. So it's like boiling the frog in the water. We're not feeling it. But for someone who leaves and comes back, we're like, y'all don't see that y'all are weird. You all aware.
Yeah.
All of you.
But is it because, Lily, that's a great observation. But is it because, right? Because it's like, okay, you don't connect with the people around you, but in this thing, there are people. So obviously you want to connect with people, but what is it about people behind the screen that's more appealing than the people around you? Do you think it's because the people around you can really see you? No filter.
Yeah.
It's a control thing. It's a control mechanism. You can control those that's around you.
Yeah,
you can control that.
Yeah, it's like you're antisocial with humans, but you all in. You want to show 500 people the selfie.
But but here's the deal: you can block those that you don't like. You don't have to really. It's like people like me now at my age. I don't like people who text me. I want to hear your voice. I'm not a texter. Because if I can't hear you, my oldest son is 36. My baby's 13. My son and I, we connect with each other. We call each other. Well, my 13-year-old, hey Dad, how you doing? I'm like, dude, I bought your phone so I can hear your voice. And he's not, but it gives people time in dating. Even when I was going through my dating time, it gives people time to think about what they can say. Like me, I can speak off key. I don't have to have a thought to what I'm going to say. I can speak off key. Well, what phone does, it corrects you before it speaks. Even people, have you ever met somebody who try to use big words and it don't go with the sentence or you be like, dude, that word don't go there. You look stupid, stop. You sound crazy to me. Well, guess what? Guess what the phone does? It corrects it before it speaks. What person really speaks? They have time to look at it. So it's really creating a perfect world that doesn't exist. You're going to be crazy trying to live in a perfect world. That's why I don't like. Yeah.
Yes.
Everything Google. You don't even have, books are non-existent. Papers are non-existent. People are going to be non-existent. We don't even communicate. Hey, and what really done that was that new disease came out, that corona. It allowed you to live. I don't need you. I don't want you in my space no more. you're breathing my air. It's affecting who I am. And if you're not perfect, then you can't be my friend.
Reminds me of an episode of Black Mirror.
I will contend to that because I think one of the biggest downfalls that we had as a society is that people started clinging to their own opinions and their perspectives as their identity, as if you are just your opinion. Like you are a Republican, you are a Democrat. No, you're a person who might have some liberal ideas, or you might have some conservative ideas. That's not the total you. That's not you in totality. And I don't hate you for that. We can have a difference of opinion, and you know what I mean. You not shoot a motherfucker. I mean, I came from a world where you didn't shoot a motherfucker because he was a fucking Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, you know what I mean. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I have seen some fights go down over one motherfucker might be a Nas fan or Jay-Z fan, but that's different.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
But the things that I've seen now that people are ready to literally hurt other people over, kill other people over, you know, it's just insane to me. And it just speaks to just a lack of just critical thought out here.
I want to go back to something that Keith said. I heard him say, and that was very okay. So you gave the differences between the 36-year-old son and the 13-year-old, right?
Right.
So whenever we're talking about inventions and anything new coming out, it's never for us.
No,
they're never thinking about us. They're thinking about your 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we already have to like the kids that are coming out now. The 18 and younger, they don't have an idea of what the world was before the internet. They can't compare things. They only know this world. So social means what we just talked about with head down and all of that stuff. That's what social means to them.
Yeah. That's sad.
And I had a few interns, like teenage interns and stuff like that throughout, you know, my career. And it's very interesting because and like how Keith said, how they communicate. Because I had one, I could pick up something was wrong, like she was upset with me about something. So I was like, hey, you know, you want to talk to me? And I was like, everything okay? And she was like, I was like, you sure? She was like, and I was like, I mean, you know, you can always talk to me. Do you know this girl went to the bathroom and wrote me a long text about what it was she was upset me about?
My son does that to me now.
Yes. And then I had another incident. We had did this giveaway, right? So we had all these people, they come and, you know, try to get this win this makeover, right? And we were supposed to do like a head to toe makeover. So the girl that got chosen, if you go on her page, she's lit, like she is da 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 blah 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 blah. I mean, just funny and personality, blah blah blah. We get her. I cannot make this up. I wish somebody was here because you would think I was exaggerating. Mm-hmm. We get her there to do the makeover, right? So, you know, it takes a long time to do someone's hair, their makeup, their switching outfits, photos, all of that stuff, right? So all of that time, do you know this girl never put together more than 3 words at one time?
Can't.
I wish I was exaggerating.
I can't. I know.
She didn't do it. And then what makes it even funnier, when the pictures came out and we released them on social media, she writes these long comments about how much fun she had.
Social. They're social people. Those are people who have to think about before they speak. They're more comfortable because nobody's surrounding them. They can't see their flaws. You know, it's so funny about that is that we went to New York 2 years ago, and my son, we was in a train station, and he saw the phone booth. You know what he said? That's the thing Superman come out of. What? The hell you mean? That's a phone booth. That's the thing Superman comes out of. And I took him in there and I said, do you know what this really is? He said, yeah, it looks like he could not dial the number. He didn't know the rotary. He said, well, how do I touch the, I said, son, you have to turn and wait. It's instant. They want instant there. Everything, you don't even know numbers there. We just touch.
Yeah, we've got numbers and technology's gotten a lot smarter.
I was told that a number of them aren't good in interviews.
Oh,
when they're going in job interviews.
you should see what they come in with, Haran. You should see what they come in wearing.
What are the?
They'll come in with a bonnet. They will walk in with a bonnet.
Oh,
that's they know.
T-shirt and to ask them to dress up, you might as well. I don't even know. They're not dressing up. They're just not going to dress.
So I mean, to some degree, I mean, some places you have to have a tie. Some places you don't, but they don't even come in terms with some sort of formal wear. Something they don't.
A T-shirt and some Jordans.
Jesus Christ.
Or a wife beater.
And you know, most interviews now is done from home. Right. They don't have no pants on. My daughter does it all the time. She'll have a top on and she'll just
show with no pants, Keith. I feel attacked.
That's a different thing. That's a completely different thing. That's different.
But that's the new.
No clue.
But can we say we the ones that don't know? Can we put that out there? We the ones who behind, not them.
No, I think there's an argument to say that we're behind, but there's also an argument to say that we can function in certain things a lot better because we had to. Like, for instance, we can all sit down in a room with each other, you know what I mean, and have a conversation face to face. Sit down, be engaging, you know what I mean, blah, 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 so on and so forth, respectful things that nature. These kids can't fucking do that, man. If you said to all of them, put all your fucking phones down right now, and all of you sit down right now and have an engaging conversation with each other without your fucking phones, without checking social media and so on and so forth, how engaging do you think that those interactions would be? You know what I mean? So many of these people don't know. So many of these children do not know how to engage. They do not have how to actually operate in a basic conversation.
Yeah, and my bestie always tells this story. My brother got married a couple years ago, and we were in a hotel suite, right? So it was the adults in one room, one big room, and then the kids and teens were in another room, but the door was closed, but the bathroom was in the room that the teens and kids were in. So we're in the adults room. We are lit. We turned up. We loud. We laughing. We joking. We da-da-da-da. I mean, it's loud, right? So Orlando had to go use the bathroom. So he walks into the kids' room. Complete silence. There's 8 kids in there. Complete silence. It's dark, and they're all on their phones. He was like, Jesus. This is weird. He was like,
but that's their world, man.
That's their
world. We don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
What if they put you in the room? You just made the scenario. Is that what if you had all these kids in the room? You told them to put their phone down. But what if you was the only one in the room and all these kids was in there? Mm-hmm. How would you act? How would you respond? It's like that bot.
It's just funny you should say that because even with my daughter now, I'm learning how to interact with her. She's 9. She's completely immersed into this, and I'm learning how to interact with her. And I do notice that yes, she's more receptive when we're texting each other, and I'm just trying to work with her with that, and also have actual conversations with her on the phone, because I do understand that, okay, well, they come from a world where their communication is to some degree impersonal. You know what I mean? I'm learning that. I'm learning that.
My house is all AI. And it's so funny that we had our house designed with all this AI stuff. My wife still gets the remote control and talks in the remote control. I said, what are you doing? And she said, hey, I gotta tell it, TV 1. I said, the house can hear you. Just say TV 1 in the house, but everything. It's funny because we walk in our room and we walk in our house, and I say disarm my house, and it'll say code, but I can just put my hand up and it'll read my hand. And my wife is 7 years older than me. And the deal is, she still gets the remote control and she'll say, TV 1. I said, you look crazy. You're talking into a remote control. But that leads to AI. Where are we, even in my age at 53, I'm to that point where I've adapted to that. And that's like even now I'm thinking about this robot. If my wife happens to ever pass away, Lord forbid, I don't want to have to deal with another person to get to know me. Because that's the hardest work, is to get a woman to know me. Because you got to go through all this pretending. Do you like this? Oh, I like that. Am I fat? No, you're not. Do you know that? Shut that, like you said, shut the hell up. You're a human. You're going to go the places you go. I don't care how you look this morning. I'm a good person. When I wake up, I'm high in spirit. That would be my AI. That would be my pro to my AI. Somebody to wake me up with greatness. Hi, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? You look beautiful. That's my every morning.
It's not
I
the
wake up
Lily.
with
It's not the Lily AI.
But it's my reality, man. I can't handle people and being who I am, and even as a writer. And Lily's been on my. I have 150,000 followers on just one page. I have over like 300,000 followers on different pages all together.
Okay.
But here's the deal: I don't like to interact with a lot of people in person. I don't want my space over. I don't want people. Even when I go to book signings, I have to have at least. I don't like more than 25 people in the room at one time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't want a lot of people around me. And just the point is, I've been in these areas like now when people come to my house. Hey, listen, man, why are all of y'all here? What do we got to talk about? You know,
Right.
I don't want. Why are we here? You
I
know,
like that too.
yeah, you don't want everybody's in your space. And I think we came programmed over time to fear people. We fear people.
Mm-hmm.
We really. I rather, you know, but who's to say? Who's to
But
say?
Haran made a good point though about our hypocrisy. It's like we fear them, we don't like them, but we want them and we need them. So it's
Yeah.
like we don't know what the hell we want.
We
don't
survive
know
as
what we
long as a, no, we don't. Man. We survive as long as a species because we learn to work together.
Yes.
We're just here because we learned to work together. Because mathematically speaking, we shouldn't have made it this far.
Right.
We really shouldn't. Against, no, I'm serious. We were against the Earth itself.
We did.
There was no barrier between us and tigers and all this other shit. And we were able to survive all those things. And we did that together.
So where are we at now?
I think we're on a slow decline to our annihilation because we're moving away from each other. That's my outlook on it. I think it's a slow drip. And I think because eventually we're going to die off. And then eventually the lights are going to go off.
Yeah.
The sun is going to run out of fuel.
You think so? No, Saint, you agree with that too?
I totally agree with that. I feel like if it's not us, Mother Earth is getting sick of us. She's over it. She's about to do another reset.
Virus.
Yeah, she's about to do another reset.
And guess what? A virus eventually has to be annihilated. Correct?
I mean, there's a possibility. There is a possibility that there are small groups that can survive, but
yes, because they have.
But as the population this large, well, I'll put it to you this way: there's plenty, and Don Levon might survive, but there's plenty of us ain't gonna make it because this world is built. I mean, we conquered a lot of things, diseases. We live longer, but resources are finite, you know. And so we're artificially supporting these large populations.
Yes, we are.
So I think eventually I don't know if they'll go extinct or they'll have like small groups that do survive. You know, let's just say a couple of million. You know, maybe a couple of million survive.
What do you mean we're artificially?
We're making bees.
We're making everything fake. Like all of our food is plastic, and now they just passed a law in the UK that, because remember we were the only ones that had plastic food. Now the UK and India can now have plastic food. Well, so because like you said, there's not enough resources to have real food for as many people that's here. So
you got to grow your own shit, like that lady that eats like
I just saw something. Only. I didn't see the story. I saw it like run across the thing where, remember when the rumor was, or the fake rumor that KFC, they had to change their name to KFC because they weren't making chicken.
I remember that.
Well, I see today that's happening. They are making
3D chicken.
I stopped eating that.
They're making 3D chicken. Yeah, they are.
I stopped eating KFC for that, man.
No,
I
but
used to
they're
love
What's a 3D chicken?
KFC. I stopped eating. But
Wait
you
a
know
minute.
what, my son?
What's a 3D chicken?
So they making food with 3D printers now.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's
Yeah.
it made out of? What's it made out of?
Protein.
Well,
No,
made out of I guess
Stuff, a lot of
protein,
stuff,
something
protein
that
and things,
that would be considered protein.
Stuff like that.
They can.
It ain't a chicken.
That's
But
it. If you're looking for chicken, you're not going to find it.
I don't know if you agree or not, but it's just like artificial flavoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can make the same chemicals that make you taste what you taste off of a natural piece of fruit. It's just a chemical signal to your brain. So they will be able to make protein. They're breaking this stuff down. Did
you see the video I sent you about the meatless stuff and what they got to do to make it taste like that?
Yeah, that
blew my mind because I was like, okay, first of all, me and my brother was trying to figure out a couple of things. First of all, how are you making plants taste exactly like beef? That's number one. Right. Number two, how are you making plants bleed like beef when you put it on the thing and it explained all of that and the stuff that they got to go through?
No, but I know what you're saying, but to me that's a little bit different because they're making something that's not taste like something. I'm saying they should be able to make these same ingredients, grow these things, just like they said with the KFC. They're in a dish. They should.
But you know what my son brought to my attention, and it is so true. He said there's two animals God didn't make, and I said, "What do you mean?" He said there's two animals God didn't make. I said, "Well, why would you say that?" He said because they're not in the wild. Anything God made is in the wild. I said, "Well, what two animals is that?" He said the cow and the chicken. It's not from God. He said, "Have you ever seen a cow in the wild? Have you ever seen a chicken in the wild? They're all farm-bred animals. They're all behind gates. They can't survive in the wild."
Well, yeah, they're bred just like dogs are bred. I mean, there are wild chickens.
Huh?
They're wild chickens. What would be considered? They're wild boars. They're wild.
Southeast Asia.
Not cows. Right. Where have you ever seen a wild chicken at running in the?
I've seen wild.
I've never seen. No turkeys, chickens.
No, I know what you're saying. No, there are wild chickens like in Southeast Asia, but the difference is they can fly. We bred them to where they can't fly.
Well, you're talking about feral chickens.
So you're going back to what he said, like we had to breed them and create something new.
But listen, that's everything you eat. That's everything. There's no such thing as a banana or a piece of corn that's all been bred. Everything you've eaten pretty much has been bred to be what it is today.
Yeah.
So that's so funny because you done program your mind to taste that. That's like the pill. Y'all know, I don't know, back in the Jensens, I don't know how old you guys is, but we used to watch this cartoon called The Jensens.
Yeah.
And you can go up
we
to
all saw the Jetsons.
Okay. You can go up to the computer and say you can mash the computer, and the pill came out and it had all the nutrients and ingredients of that, and you put it on your tongue and it tasted. Every meal tasted as if it was created for that. So I think we just hear it. We just now, like you said. I delivered to a farm the other day in Texas, and it was a stockyard. I've been past it, and they stink. They stink real bad. And I got there, man, and those cows they was the most skinniest cows I ever seen in my life. And I'm saying to myself, what are y'all doing? It was so funny. And those cows, man, some of them cows look so weak. How do you eat this? How do we really eat it? And it's turning me away from meat. I'm saying, Lord have mercy. I can't do this no more.
Always look at it from this perspective, though. I'm just going to hit you a little bit of science. It's all about how your brain perceives something.
Yes.
If your brain interacts with something and it thinks it's tasting meat, it's going to taste like meat. Like, for instance, the moment you open your eyes right now, what you're seeing right now, you're seeing the screen, you're seeing, whatever it is you're seeing in your room, you're seeing it clearly, so on and so forth. That's not technically what you're seeing. That's what your brain is interpreting.
That's true.
How your eyes actually work, it's really, if you were really supposed to see what you're supposed to see, the way your eyes work, you should be seeing something really fucked up. You should be seeing like shit over here.
Right.
There's some light over there. There's some blah blah blah, so on and so forth. What's happening is that your brain is interpreting things, and this is how you're supposed to view the world. So, ironically, the moment you open your eyes, you're being lied to. But anyway,
Right.
So
We've been lied to from the jump.
So, but that's basically how you should look at it.
I don't understand what you just said.
I'll tell you another time.
My mentor used to always say that everything's an illusion. Everything's an illusion. And
I'll give you an article. Jen, afterwards. I don't want to take up too much time.
Yeah, because it's very complicated when you really break it down.
And if you think about it, let's just talk about, like, he was talking about his son talking about the chicken and the cow. I mean, pigs. And it's almost like, I think it's like a survival that, like, when you domesticate pigs, they lose their hair, they lose their tusks. Those pigs escape, and not too long after that, they grow their tusks and grow their hair.
Right.
Why is that?
Survival.
Well,
is it being in a natural habitat?
Yeah,
it goes back.
Yeah.
So if you take us away, if you take the computers from us, you're saying we can go back to our natural habitat?
We all gonna be hairy and trying to survive off the land.
I think we'll kill each other.
We live in an artificial world as it is.
Right, we do.
I mean,
you look at what's going on now, right? With the girls, with the BBLs and stuff like that. Oh. These girls are risking their lives and risking their bodies because they want to look like a filter of something that they've seen on the computer. So you get what I'm saying? Because especially the younger ones, and the girls our age, they're doing it too, but especially the younger ones, because they really can't distinguish from what's real and fake anymore. They because this is all they know. This is all they've come up on.
Mm-hmm. But Lily, you have a good point. Hold on, really quickly. I just wanted to say, Lily, you got a good point, because it's not even the young girls. It's all them old bitches on Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of New York. They 55 walking around with fake asses they can't even carry. Trying to sit down with their big titties. They can't even.
Well, hadn't that been the thing with Playboy since we've been knowing it?
Not
Playboy,
like now.
Not like now.
Dolly Parton. Like now. Yeah, no, it's the norm. Everything that used to be negative now is the norm. I think that's just life now. I think that is. I don't know how to operate this thing. It's in chat. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. I can't hardly see everybody over here because it's got this number. So that's why I keep blinking off. I keep trying to see everybody. It's got the live number. I don't know how to make the screen bigger. But yeah, I think you can see.
We can see you fine, sir.
Thank you there, Mrs. So the deal is, man, I think AI is just, I don't know. I think that's our new thing. I know we got off topic with it, but
we did, but that happens on the block. So let's close, you guys. I vote for the AI. I'd do it once.
I'll do it once. I'll try them out.
I'll try the guy with my blind guy. Mine got to be blind though. I want mine disabled. My bot is gonna be disabled, and we're gonna get parking. We're gonna get handicap parking.
What? Why handicap parking?
Because he's going to be blind.
He's going to be blind.
Oh, he's blind.
My bot is blind.
And then Haran has the mute.
You're beautiful, but
Haran has the mute.
God damn. Being beautiful, Jen. You got to be confident, Jen. You look beautiful.
I'm super confident. I'm super confident. I'm
also
super
possessive.
I'm just possessive. I licked it. It's mine. Don't touch. Don't look. Don't. It's
all
mine.
right.
You know that's very funny that Lily brought that up. I've never really looked at that. Like Jen is like she wants hers to be blind and not seeing. I just want mine to shut the fuck up. That says a lot about who we are in our relationship.
Yours is gonna be handicapped too. She's gonna be a mute.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So it says a lot about why we got into some
disability bot.
Disability bot. Somebody needs those bots. Somebody needs to love those bots.
Yeah.
So we got thought bots. We got separate live bots. We've got
BDSM bot. No Saint wants a BDSM
oh
bot.
yes, a BDSM
A dominatrix bot.
Yes.
Puerto Rican bot,
Bitch
Gen
bot.
bot.
We talked
The
about
bitch bot, gen bot,
Not to be
ethnicity
Gen
bots.
bot and Puerto Rican, not to be confused. Two different things.
Two different types.
And then ethnicity bots.
Yes, ethnicity bots. Yes.
In reality,
the version I hear the $500 version comes in pearly things.
what? Because it was pearly.
Yeah.
I'll catch you up on that, Keith. I'll catch you up on that.
Okay, because I all I can remember the damn 500 about gonna come home and that son gonna be fat. I don't want no damn 500. But dude, I got you skinny, girl. You was 130 pounds when I brought you in. Your ass 260 now.
That's the wife bot. That's the wife bot.
That's the white bot. Yeah, okay. We don't need it. I don't know what type of bot I get. I just want my bot to be damn different every time. Long as she cooking clean, I got me a good bot.
That's
She
a
need
good bot. A maid bot.
That's a great bot.
Yeah.
That's a good bot. And one that says, "Good morning, how are you, handsome?" Every morning.
That's it. Stroke my ego in the morning, ego bot. I don't an ego bot. Just stroke my ego. Let me know you love me, ego bot. Yeah.
Oh my God, this was a good time. Thank you so much for coming up, Keith. Please come back. You are welcome on the block any time to talk about anything. We talk about a lot of stuff. You just up here on Freaky Friday, but we have a lot of good topics about relationships and gender wars and
ding, ding,
politics
ding, 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 ding.
and race.
Ding, 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 ding.
We
Yeah.
talk about race and relationships and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
we'd
I'm
love to have you
people
back.
over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd love to have
So
you all back.
on 10 o'clock every day, or is it a certain time?
No. We're on every day at what time, Lily? 8 p.m. every day? Are we changing to 9? Right,
In the
8:30?
summertime, we're going to be going to 9. I mean, starting at 9. But right now it's 8:30 until summer.
Okay, so yeah, we're on every day, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday nights we do late because it's Freaky Friday. So we do late Friday. And then Saturdays we have our block talent battle. And Star just posted it. Saturdays we do block talent battle. We have a talent show where like the audience gets to decide who wins and we give them a cash prize.
Oh, so y'all be doing it? Y'all be doing it? Y'all doing the talent?
Yeah.
Oh no, we judge the talent.
No, we judge.
Oh, y'all the judge.
judge. They come up on the screen like you did, like the way you came up on screen. They come up to sing, act, or dance, or do comedy, and then we judge them.
Okay.
So if you know any singers, actors, rappers, dancers, they could come up and win them a little $100 just for 2 minutes of their time.
All right.
On Saturdays. And Star just posted our promo, Lily.
We love Star. He's always supportive.
We do love Star. Very, very supportive.
Well,
all right, guys. So go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
I just want to give blessings, man. Thank you guys for being so open, being honest. I thank Lily for bringing me in. She's so awesome, man. I met her in a TikTok group. So if you guys ever just motivational, I'm here for you. I'll be in, I work a lot. So, but it's awesome to have people with just outstanding brains. You never be challenged. I was telling Lily earlier, I rarely challenge because I'm always teaching. Always teaching, and it's even now with I'm looking for a different church home. I haven't been to church because we have a new pastor and they don't know how to teach. But at the end of the day, it's good to see people with broad minds and being honest with it. You don't get these too many people in this world no more, and everybody's just come humble and down to earth. That's a good crowd anywhere you go.
Well, thank you so much. And we have a lot of challenging conversations. Friday is usually our easy night, but we have a lot of challenging conversations. So we'd love to have you back, especially because you're a motivational speaker. So, we'd love to have you back.
Well, just whatever. I look for you. Look for you on YouTube. Okay.
All
you
right,
guys check me out, Linktree Keith Bennett Books. And you better catch up with me on that.
Keith Bennett Books, right?
Yeah, Linktree Keith Bennett Books.
Thank you so much for coming through, Keith.
All right, much love. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
It's definitely nice to look at.
All right, thank you. You as well. She's celibate. You remember, stay celibate.
I am. I'm good.
until she gets her doll, and then
Right. I get my doll.
negotiation.
It's my blind doll. My blind doll.
Yes, you're blind doll.
My handicap doll. All right, guys. So tomorrow, Block Talent Battle Round 2, and we'll announce our winner and give her money. We already know who won. We'll give her money mañana. So come back. No, Saint, where were you for the first Block Talent Battle?
I came up late. I mean, I came up.
He came up late.
Okay.
He was in the chat. He was in the chat.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. All right. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's judge these people. Let's see who comes up. If not, me and Lily will be singing.
All right, Lily J. Blige is up there. She can come down.
Okay. And I'll do the sultry smoky bar. When the rhythm starts to play, dance with me.
You gotta do the Ciara prayer, man.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta do this shit. Yeah. You gotta do this shit.
I fucking hate her leg.
We are not going to go there with Ciara tonight.
On the tippy toes too, on top of it with the legs cocked open. I hate it. All right, guys. Good night. I love you all.
Love you.
Good night. See you tomorrow. All right, guys, whoever's left here, hope you enjoy. Please hit that like and subscribe for Mama and come back tomorrow for Block Talent Battle, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will have talent up here competing for money. I don't know about you. 2 minutes of your talent for some money for $100. That's a nice night. 2 minutes, $100, okay? Depending on whether or not you win. So we will judge you. Our chat will hold us down and decide, okay? Good night, guys. Have a good night. See you mañana.